Okay, well, let's practice guitar. Check. Hello, good people. It's Shed Wars. Today, we're waging war on low productivity. Running a garden and operating a YouTube channel has a lot of moving parts, and it's easy to lose track of what's going on and what needs to be done when. A lot of things help in that process. Keeping a calendar, keeping a journal, all of that's good. But there's one trick in particular that I highly recommend. If you're having a hard time getting organized, if you're having a hard time meeting your goals, even figuring out what your goals are sometimes, that can be a challenge in and of itself. This one trick really helps, and that is keeping lists. Let me show you. Let me show you an example here. On this piece of paper, okay, see, now you can see the camera so good. On this piece of paper, I have a list of videos that I have plans on releasing 3 videos a week all the way out until June 19th. That's coming up really soon. And I've just written down my idea for what those videos are going to be. I don't necessarily have all the footage for all these videos. But this gives me an idea about what I want to do when I want to do it. And I make this list by consulting with my calendar. I see what I've got coming up on the planning schedule, see what I have coming up on the harvest schedule. That sort of helps me figure out, okay, I've got this coming up, so I'm going to be able to shoot the video for it, and then I put that on the list. Well, that list is not a hard and fast guarantee that that's the video that's ultimately going to get shot. For example, not too long ago I was planning on having a single seed challenge video updating the Cherokee Trail of Tears black bean, but whenever I looked at it I realized it hadn't progressed to the next stage of the plant's life cycle yet that I was looking for, so I figured, oh, I'll put that one away, I'll push it off and we'll do something else instead. So having a list is not an ironclad guarantee that's what you must do. It's just a guideline. It helps you get there. From there are other lists we work with. For example, I have this notebook here, and in the notebook I'll have, here's an example of, well, there's an example of a list. If you look here, it says, let's say here, Wednesday, June 3rd, onion starts, moth traps, edit gingers, shoot can I plant that 5, pick peas, pour blocks, mulch peppermint and daylilies, weed eating, thin amaranthus, test live stream, still haven't done that yet, record Jack the Giant Killer, that was, take care of the chickens, label and layer hazelnuts. Oh, I have to remember to do that. Okay, so obviously I did not get everything on this list done. That's okay, because whenever you're writing out a list like this, you take the calendar, you take your shooting schedule or whatever else it is that you're working that you know you have to get done, and you write down every day, you write down what it is that you would like to get accomplished that day. Not necessarily what you're going to get accomplished, just what you would like to get accomplished. And then from there, as you go through the day and you find yourself with some free time, you can go and you can look at your list and say, oh, I haven't done this yet. Let's go do that. I can fit that in today. And you go and do that. And then whenever you get done, you cross it off. And as soon as you do that, you have this endorphin rush. You've realized that you've accomplished a goal. And you can just get silly with it if you want to. You could write out your list or your schedule for the coming day and write down, wake up, put on shoes, brew coffee, and go down the list and just mark stuff off. Hey, if you have a hard time getting started, if you just constantly have that down feeling that you're just not getting anything done, break everything in your list into tiny little silly portions and see how much you actually are getting done. And whenever you see that you're getting things done, whenever you see that you're meeting your goals, as you mark things off the list, you feel more confident that you can get things done. You can get up in the morning, you can make the list, you can get the things done that are on the list. You can accomplish your short-term goals, and if you take a look at your long-term goals and break those down into a series of short-term goals that you can write on a calendar, write on a list, you can get anything done that you put your mind to doing. It's just a question of, can you pick up a pad and a pen or a pencil and do a little writing and then follow up. That's it. Well, that's how we got to where we're at today. I started out with a goal. Hey, I want to have, and the first goal, really, this, you may laugh, but the first goal was I want to get rid of the sticker grass in the front yard. We live in an area where these sandburrs and sticker grass come up out of the ground all over the place. It's bad. I tackled it for 2 or 3 years with just a weed pulling tool and pulling them out as soon as I could identify that's the sticker grass coming out. Before the stickers came out, after the stickers came out, I was like, oh boy, mowing constantly, and it was just almost impossible. For a moment I thought I'd won the battle, and then boom, just more sticker grass everywhere. And I thought about it, and I was like, hey, the places where the sticker grass doesn't grow is in the shade. It can't handle shade. So what we really need to do is make some shade. And so starting 5 years ago, we began by planting pecan trees. And then the year after that, we planted pears and hazelnut trees. And then we've been adding more and more to it since then. And now we've added in the layer of deep mulch. If we don't continue to mulch at this point, the sticker grass will come up again, and it'll just be fed with the mulch, and it'll be nice, healthy sticker grass. But over time, we're going to develop shade over the yard, and shade over the yard, a woodland environment, sticker grass is not going to grow up. The puncture vine, sandburrs, those aren't going to grow up. So we will be getting rid of those particular pests, those weeds that were out there in the front yard. But in the process, I realized I have another long-term goal that I want to accomplish, and that is to establish a production agroforestry farm where we grow trees and get the food from the trees, take that to market. Think in the terms of, say, a nut orchard, but not a normal pecan orchard where it's nothing but pecan trees for 40 acres. I want to do a polyculture orchard with the pecans in the upper story, the hazelnuts in the lower story, nitrogen fixers spread throughout the entire mix, some berry bushes like the blueberries. Found a really nice variety of blueberry, bears twice a year. Some pear trees, maybe some other fruit trees, cherries, plums, peaches, persimmons perhaps, in different spots throughout that area, to the point where, in theory, just the perennial systems themselves will be capable of feeding 6 people per acre. We multiply that by the number of arable acres of landmass on planet Earth, and that's quite a few billion people that can be fed just with those perennials alone. That's not even counting everything that we plant on the ground layer. Things like the squash that can tolerate some shade, tomatoes, onions, garlic, peppers, plenty of other staple crops that can be planted in amongst the trees, especially while we're waiting for the smaller, younger trees to grow up. It's an ambitious goal, but little by little, one piece at a time, breaking it down into smaller goals, we're working towards that. Of course, building the YouTube channel, starting a nursery, that's part of accomplishing that overall goal. So just every day, pencil, paper, write down what you need to accomplish for the day. Make it that simple. Just what do you need? And then go out, do, cross off, and you'll get things done eventually. Hey good people, that's all I've got for you today. As always, if you found the video informative or entertaining, please hit that like button. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, share this video, bang the notification bell, and good people, I will catch you next time.